We'll now take a look at some parsing techniques which can be useful for trying to extract very specific values. So let's say we have some string variable and this contains a string, or maybe it contains an integer or a floating point, or maybe just a specific integer. It only has just an integer, so maybe something like 5. So here's my string. This type of string is what we call a numeric string. It would be nice if we can take this and convert it to an actual int or a double, since if I want to do something with this number, I can't do anything with it as a string unless I want to do string operations with it. But if I want to add something to it, it needs to be an integer or a double. So that would be nice, wouldn't it? Well, fortunately, we can do that. Otherwise, why would I be talking about it if we couldn't do that? That would just be a big letdown. So we do have two different approaches for converting strings into numbers. So the first approach handles the case where our string is just the number itself. So here is an example. If I want to convert a string that only has an integer, we can use the method integer.parseInt and pass that string, and that will return the integer that we want. So for example, if I do integer.parseInt and pass the number 6 as a string, remember it has to be a string, can't be a character, but it has to be a string containing just the number, it will return that number. So in this case, it returns the integer 6. Now, what if our string is just a float? Well, we can use a method that works for floats as well. So if our string is only a float, we can use float.parsefloat and then pass that string. So for example, if I wanted to get the string 34.56 and convert that into a float, I can just call float.parsefloat, pass that string, and sure enough, it will give me 34.56. So that's great for floats. What about doubles? Well, guess what? We can do the same thing. So here we can use the method double.parseDouble, pass that string that contains the double, and it will give me that double. So for example, I can do double.parseDouble, and maybe I pass the string negative 12.34. Sure enough, that's going to return negative 12.34. Now I do want to mention one thing here that you probably have noticed, or maybe you haven't realized until now, that we have these integer, float, and double classes because we have integer.parseInt, float.parsefloat, double.parseDouble. So that means we have classes called integer, float, and double. We will discuss more about these classes later because they are very useful in some circumstances, but for now we won't worry too much about them.